everyone, and welcome to the show. I guess we're 10 minutes late, but I'll make it up by the end. I'll stretch the stream 10 more minutes. I still have relatives, so I need to handle some family business. But anyway, we're here now. Welcome JDA79. Welcome John Thomas and everyone else who's in the chat. I forgot to tweet this out. This is actually very important. Anyway, right. We're going to talk about Germany today. We're going to talk about Europe. Something happened in France too. We need to address that. And also the gaming industry. Very interesting what's happening in the gaming industry. A lot of woke games are coming out and they're just continuously flopping to the point where you have to wonder who is paying for this, right? Like it makes no financial sense to see these games being made, and they cost quite a lot, right? Like they're not like just cheap indie titles. They're multi-million-dollar projects, and a couple of years ago you could say, well, they just didn't know, right? Like that when they started making the game, it was during COVID and social justice was at its peak, and it seemed that if you don't make a game about social justice, you're not cool. But no, like it's been 6 years now, right? Like 6 years since COVID, almost an eternity, and there is no more justification to make a medieval game where you get to play as a knight, which is a queer lesbian, and you get to hire a community manager that makes fun of the chuds. I'm talking about this game in particular. Like the moment that I saw it, it took a couple of seconds. Like I think it was like 6 frames, and it was still like 5 frames too long for me to realize, yeah, this is not going to sell. And it was kind of a shame because the environment, it looked good. The combat looked interesting, but a lot of people have become vegans now. You know, it's kind of like you see meat on the plate. It doesn't matter if it's good or not. People just refuse to buy it. So when you see like this game, like casting a woman, and then the justification, right? Like from the fans, they immediately went viciously. They were vicious against anyone that disagrees. It's like, oh, you bigot, don't you know that women were knights as well? And it's like, that's great. I'm pretty sure they were. But not in my Steam collection. Not in my video game collections. They're not knights. Unless they have big tits, plampas, and they're fuckable. If you do that, then people will buy it. If not, people just don't happen to buy it. And as you can see here, 89 people in the demo, right? Like this is... I gotta say, like, even before when Total Biscuit was doing game reviews, like, if you made an indie game and you had 89 people in demo, it was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, the Coffin of Ashley and Lele, like, that had more people. So that they can't even cope and basically say, well, the game was too expensive or anything like that. It's like, no one is interested. Absolutely nobody. And so the question is, like, who's paying for these games? And so there are a couple of possibilities. First of all, like, Tencent was paying for some of them, and now journalists are trying to make it sound like, well, if Tencent is paying, it's still an indie game. It's like, no, it's not. Okay, like, no, like, well, yeah, but like developers have to crowdfund. It's like, yeah, they can make a loan from the bank. They can pitch money together from a community. If you get money from Tencent, you're not independent. Like, you have a publisher. You need to please Tencent. It's just like the definition of not being independent, right? Independent is when you don't have an investor like Tencent. But anyway, the question is like, who's funding and why are they funding these games, right? The first explanation that I heard is that these games may be tax write-offs. So like you have big companies, and instead of paying money to the government, they may as well make a video game in order to, take a chance that maybe the game is actually successful and they get their money back. So it is a possibility. Now, when you do something like this, you usually hire a company and you put people that you know in that company. And so, like, the money that you write off for the taxes goes into the pockets of those people. That would probably explain, like, a lot of the bloat at these companies and why games like this that are generic as fuck, they cost, like, $50 million to make. But it's probably not due to that necessarily. It's just that they just want tax write-offs, right? The thing is though, and this is what I don't understand. It's like if you want tax write-offs, that's fine, but like, why not sponsor like 5 or 6 different games and actually try to make them successful? Like, why do they have to fail? This is what I don't get. It's kind of like the U-Ball way of making movies that you know will fail. Why would you do that? You know, like, if you make 5 or 6 different, like, there is a risk that one of them may actually be successful. And, like, they know what the market wants. Like, you don't have to make Bayonetta, you know, you don't have to make Stellar Blade. You can literally just make a video game that takes place in medieval France and just have a knight that's a man. You know, like, literally, just have, like, a normal video game that's historical and just have a guy that's a knight. Like, you don't like, you don't have to make this shit because it doesn't sell. Now, maybe it's because, like, they need diversity checks, right? Because, like, if it's a company like Tencent, like, maybe, I haven't checked, but, like, maybe they have, like, a diversity statement. And so, like, they literally are unable to fund video games that aren't diverse. And so, like, if you make a video game in medieval France, then you can have diversity by making either a female character or making, like, a black person appear. But, like, there's no black people in the Schengen area in 1348. And so, like, you end up with a situation like that other medieval game, Kingdom Come, right? Like, 2, where the black person just happens to be a Muslim and he doesn't belong there. Like, maybe like that. I don't fucking know. But again, regardless, this is weird. The other explanation would be money laundering. I don't think this one is that plausible, because, like, if you want to launder money, you use more obscure things. Like, we saw Jeffrey Epstein use World of Warcraft currency. And finally, the last explanation may be government grants, right? Like the European Union, Canada, these places, they give government grants, and it's actually tied to the diversity checkbox. The Machine, thank you for $499. I love how logical you are. The Bibi versus Kier statement question was one of the best counters I've heard against accelerationists. Choosing Kier as well. Yeah, okay, so the idea of accelerationism, you're basically, like, hoping that you accelerate and you break through a wall, right? Like, that's the idea. And the ideology itself, that if we accelerate, you know, they use the boiling of the frog thing. It's like if you turn the fire right away, the frog jumps up. That's not, like, even a theory. Like they have never proved that to be the case. You know, like, it's just like a statement that sounds good. And if you look at it historically, like, yes, sometimes accelerationism can work, but, like, most of the time, if you try to run face into a wall, the wall wins. Okay? So, like, accelerationism, yes, you end up boiling the frog faster. You don't do any slow boil. I don't know why people don't understand, like, authoritarian governments do exist. Authoritarianism is stable. Like, you can literally have a hellhole where people don't rebel. It's madness, in my opinion. Like, the idea that, oh, we're going to vote for Keir Starmer in order to get people to vote right-wing. It's like, no, you can vote for Keir Starmer and literally just get Keir Starmer. We haven't seen Rupert Lowe win the elections yet, right? Like, what happens if he doesn't win? I'm just saying, you know, like, I do understand voting out of spite, but I would never vote for a leftist out of spite. Like, surely you can vote for a more radical right-winger. Like, voting out of spite in the UK would mean voting for Tommy Robinson or voting for, like, some radical fringe extremist. But it would never mean voting for Keir Starmer. That's insane. Like, if you vote for Keir Starmer, then, well, you deserve Keir Starmer. Like, what can I say? You know, all the digital ID shit, the internet censorship, the higher taxation, the fucking with the farmers. Like, that's what you voted for. Like, you're going to get that. You know, they say democracy doesn't work. No, it actually does work. You voted for Keir Starmer, you get Keir Starmer. Like, surprise, überraschung. Anyway. I think it's far too risky a strategy to deploy normally. However, under the right conditions, it may be worth giving the things a nudge. Yeah, I whatever. Like, historically speaking, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Like, if you try to break through a wall, most of the times the wall wins. Who would have thought? Okay, it is what it is. Anyway, That is something that I posted, and something that came to me today after making so many videos on YouTube and talking about politics. And by the way, this is a tip. If you guys post on Twitter, right? Apparently, the way the algorithm works is that the more people watch the stuff you posted, the more it gets promoted, right? So it's not like YouTube. The idea is like if you look at the a post and you spend like 20-30 seconds of it on your screen, the algorithm thinks, oh, this must be a great post, and it pushes it onto other people. And so what you want to do is you want to upload a picture with your post, so that people watch the picture. And this is a trick, right? It's a tip. Look, I already got like 314 likes. It's also important to like your post as well. If you like your post, the algorithm pushes it further. Now, people will complain that it's AI. That's a good thing. If they complain that it's AI, that means that they interact with the post. If they interact with the post, the algorithm shares it further. I think like this is how a demon would look like, actually. I looked at how the Ezekiel demons are described, and they look kind of like this. You know, in the Bible, when an angel appears, it tells people, do not be afraid. And I'm pretty sure, like, if the angel looks anything remotely, then yes, like, I can see why it would say that. But basically, I took an angel, which is supposed to have white wings, right? And after the fall, wings go dark. And yeah, like this would probably be the exact depiction of how a demonically accurate entity would look like, according to Ezekiel, right? Like if we just assume that when the angels fell from heaven after the war, their wings went black, probably like this. Anyway, this is what I've noticed, right? Like, this is written by me. The picture is AI. We assume that people are persuaded by evidence, and this is why I don't want to debate Destiny anymore, and why I stopped debating Dev 2. They're not. People are actually persuaded by belonging. The most powerful force in human psychology isn't logic, it's not evidence, it isn't even self-interest, it's tribal affiliation. People believe what their group believes because believing it maintains the membership in the group. And membership in the group is, for a social species, more important than being correct. And so, like, for example, during COVID, right? Like, what happens if you can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can buy the science? Like, let's say you're Elon Musk, and during COVID, you pay $1 billion to Dr. Fauci, and you manage to either, like, maybe send him to a country where he can't be extradited from, right? So, like, you are Elon Musk, and you tell Dr. Fauci, look, I'll give you $1 billion and I'll allow you to go to Switzerland. I have people in Switzerland. They will give you citizenship. No one will bother you. You can be in Switzerland with $1 billion. You can start your own company. You can start your own dynasty, your own empire, right? All I want you to do is to come on the show and answer me some questions in the way that I want, right? So, like, Elon Musk would go out there on the internet with Dr. Fauci during COVID, and he would show the bank transfer. He would show how he buys Fauci in real time. And then he will tell Dr. Fauci, like, can you please say that the virus is fake? And Dr. Fauci would basically say, yeah, research shows that we discovered the virus, blah, 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 uses some scientific terminology, it's fake. Can you please say that people who jump 3 times in the morning have a lower risk of getting the virus? And then Dr. Fauci can say, yeah, our research have proven that people who have like some kinetic energy being thrown into their body are at less risk of getting infected. Right? So, like, you literally just say some nonsense and Dr. Fauci repeats it. Why? Because you paid him $1 billion. And you show this to the public. Like, unironically, everyone gets to see it. What would happen is that nothing would change. Nothing would change. Even if, like, people understand that you can buy the science, nothing would change because the evidence is not important, right? Even if you provide a demonstration, overwhelming evidence, undeniable evidence that the mechanism of authority is purchasable and performative, and you have 3.1 billion people seeing it, 3.1 billion people sort the evidence into their existent tribal framework, and the framework holds. Majority of people are going to say, yes, of course you can buy the science, but you know what? The science is still right. The vaccines are still important. Everything moves forward. Not because the evidence is weak, because the framework is stronger than the evidence. The framework is identity. The framework is belonging. The framework is my people believe X, and I am one of my people, and therefore I must believe X. Now, obviously, I've been, I need to polish this a little bit more because, like, it's not as absolute as I make it to be. Like, some people can be persuaded by evidence, but I am talking about the masses here, right? Like, masses of people, percentages, like, statistics. They usually, like, they don't change by showing people evidence. Usually, they change when the influential people within the group get a new framework. Right? So, like, for instance, in the case of the pandemic, it's when the Democrats decide that it stopped running its course, right? Like, for instance, Putin invades in Ukraine, and they decide, like, okay, we need to have, like, different priorities. We need to restart the economy because, like, they didn't know how the war will go. So it's like, okay, we need to stop with the pandemic because it's hurting us economically, even though we're grifting, but, like, we need to restart the economy in case we need to go on a war footing. And all of a sudden, just COVID goes away, right? Like, Dr. Fauci goes up. He calls that the virus is no longer an issue, right? The Omicron variant, not as deadly, and everyone knows what happened after that. Can you go over some dev post? I pinged into the live stream. Holy shit, is dev posting again? All right, let's see. What did Dev post? Oh, he didn't post himself. He didn't post himself. He reposted. We have who's this? Nick Shirley has exposed that a dog was registered to vote in California. Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, it is unbelievable. Like, what's wrong with getting dead people to vote? Like, that's the classic. That's the way you do it. Getting a dog is. Laura Yorex, a Republican, registered her dog to vote. She was caught and charged with 5 felonies. This was exposed 6 months ago. Okay, and they've reposted this. Yeah, I don't understand. What does it matter if it's a Republican or a Democrat? Like, the very fact that the system allows for a person to get the dog to register, okay? Now, sure, you caught this one, but, like, don't you think it should have been prevented before getting caught? Like, for instance, the way we vote in Romania is you go there with an ID. And so, like, when you go there with an ID, it's impossible to be caught later because, like, you're caught on the scene, right? Like, if you don't have an ID, you're not allowed to vote. Like, the very fact that a person actually managed to get through the registration process and got a dog in raises the question. It's like, okay, but, like, are there other people that didn't get caught later on? You know? So, yeah, and the fact that he's Republican doesn't mean, like, the very fact that you can do it, like, I can assume that, yes, like, Republicans and Democrats do it. Like, I see, like, this is the difference between me and other people. Like, I don't assume that the other people do bad things and my people never do bad things. Like, of course everyone does bad things, right? But, like, the idea that bad things can be done is concerning enough. Still, yeah, I mean, Dev retweeting that doesn't surprise me. Why does it matter to Dev? See, MAGA is cheating. Like, of course MAGA is cheating. Like, look, when you're in a system, you gotta take advantage of all the possibilities, because the other side also takes advantage of all the possibilities. And so, like, if there is cheating, the cheating needs to be stopped by changing the rules, right? You don't basically go, well, MAGA is cheating. Okay, yes. Well, why wouldn't MAGA cheat? You know, like, this was another example with the taxes, right? Like, the tax loopholes. Like, I remember at the debate during the first Trump administration, Trump was debating with Hillary Clinton. And Trump was basically talking about how there are many tax loopholes that need to be closed. Now, obviously, he didn't close them, but, like, the debate was to discuss this. And Hillary Clinton and many others were like, yeah, but, like, you're using loopholes. I was like, well, of course he's using loopholes, right? Like, he's basically saying, like, yes, I've been using them, just like any other rich person. You use them as well. Let's stop it. Like, let's change the rules, right? Like, let's cover these loopholes so that nobody uses them. I don't feel that's hypocritical, right? It's kind of like this, like let's say you're playing League of Legends, and the current meta is two jungles, right? On every team, people are playing two jungles, and it's very boring. Or no, actually, hold on, no, let me scratch that. Let me scratch that. And let's start with another example that's actually more familiar and people know. Let's say you're playing StarCraft 2, and the current meta is Zerg Rush. Like, if you play Zerg Rush, you win. Okay? So people are playing Protoss, people are playing Terran, everyone is playing Zerg, because, like, you win with Zerg Rush. And so people that are professional players, they start complaining, and they're saying, well, like, the Zerg Rush tactic is being cheesed right now. Like, can we not get a patch? Can we not change it? And then the developers will be like, well, yeah, but, like, you're Zerg Rushing. It's like, of course he's Zerg Rushing, right? Like, everyone is Zerg Rushing if they want to win. But that's not the point. What he is saying is, like, I would like to stop Zerg Rushing. I would like so that everyone plays on a different playing field that's equal. And so, like, we remove this abusive tactic so we can enjoy the game, right? It's kind of like the same here. You have a person that's a politician and is basically saying, yeah, people are abusing the system. Of course I'm abusing it as well because I'm in the system. Like, I'm not outside it. But, like, I would like it to change. Well, I would like it to turn a new page. Being right-wing doesn't pay well. It depends. Like, being right-wing, it's not always, like, it doesn't pay well. Like, sometimes it can pay well if you don't have competition, right? Like, if you're literally the only person in town that's allowed to speak on a subject, like, for instance, Ben Shapiro, it can be profitable. Like, the Daily Wire was almost as profitable as Disney. But yes, like, mostly people that wanted to grift up until now were left-wing. I do assume that if J.D. Vance manages to win the next presidency, then being right-wing is going to be more profitable. Right? Like, the grift will move from left to right. Again, both people do it. I don't believe, like, my side is pure and their side is bad. I've been thinking about liberalism in the framework of a meta too. Lots of people are completely anti-liberalism and blaming it for everything, but I think it's not so black and white. Yeah, it's a little bit more complex, but, like, recently the liberal order is definitely the meta. Anyway, people are pointing out this, and this is actually really interesting. So the new Resident Evil came out, and apparently people are making fun of it, people are mocking it. The main reason is that they actually, like, Capcom actually bragged about this, that they used the women that happened to work at Capcom in order to design Leon, right? Like, they wanted the character of Leon to be as masculine as possible to make women wet. But they removed all the female fan service, right? Like, all of the women in the game, they're nerfed, right? Like, this is how the women look. And the question is, like, why? Like, what's the purpose for doing this? Like, do you not want to sell copies? Like, again, my analogy is like going to a restaurant, okay, and you go there with a queer person, a gay person, a woman, and they all have, like, their favorite dishes, and they're all eating, and I'm sitting there, I want to enjoy the same experience. Like, I don't mind that they have their own dish, but, like, why can't I have mine? Like, why can't I? And if I actually order what I want, they're mocking me, Now, the reason for it is because male sexuality has witnessed a downgrade in prestige, right? Like, it's not prestigious to want this. If you want this, there's something wrong with you. If you want this, you're a gooner, you're disgusting, you're disturbing, like, it's not okay, right? But if you're a gay person and you want Leon to look buff, that's fine. If you're a woman that's in the 45-year-old and you're surrounded by catfish, then it's fine. So, yeah, like, this is what men get. Now, here's the thing. Would it change anything to the game if the female character looked like this? No. Would it change anything if they had the slider, right? Like, let's say you're a homosexual, you don't want to see this, and there's a slider and it makes it look like this. Like, we have the technology. It literally can be done. Would it? No. So why doesn't she look like this? For the people that want her to look like, well, I mean, obviously, you can use a mod, and this is why, like, most of the mods, and you can verify this, like, the most popular mods are mods that make her look like this. We're not asking for pornography. I don't want to see her strip dancing, right? Like, I don't want to see her get naked. Like, no, I just think, what's wrong with it? The cope is that, well, actually, Resident Evil doesn't have fan service. It's like, no, it's not correct. Like, Jill, especially from, what was it, like Resident Evil 6? Shiva, Resident Evil 7. No, like Resident Evil always had fan service. There's literally nothing wrong with having fan service, right? And the cosplayers, like the cosplayers actually look better than the in-game character, which is already quite telling. And the reason they do this, like we know why they do this. Capcom released a press statement. And by the way, like here's the Resident Evil fan service if you guys want to check. I mean, again, this is from previous Resident Evil games, right? To claim that Resident Evil doesn't have fan service is a lie. It's a flat out lie. And it still has. Like right now, Resident Evil does have fan service if you're a woman, right? If you go castrate yourself as well, like you can benefit from the fan service. Yeah, I mean, look, this is from Resident Evil Remake. Here you go, right? Like, come on. Let's not kid ourselves. No, like Capcom actually said why it does, and it's because they're hiring Western consultants, which basically says that the people have moved away from traditional standards of beauty and. Oh, here we go. This is literally the developer leak, where they talk about how you need to have LGBTQ characters and they needed to be treated better, and it's actually inappropriate to have female fan service. And they literally give as an example, right? The Last of Us 2, this is good, this is good. Meanwhile, this is not good, right? So no more stereotypical character. Making jokes that are inappropriate is not okay. Women that aren't dressed all the way to the neck and they don't look like guys is not okay. So like this is why Capcom is doing it, right? It's not because it's what the market wants. It's not because this is what people want to see. It's not because they're going for realism. It's pure Western ideology that has destroyed the Western game industry with representation and regulation. And they're like, okay, well, we need some of that as well. I'm like, all right. Hello, Doug. Welcome to the show. It is getting sad. Now, let me just talk about something else that's more controversial. I'll make a video about this. This one is really interesting because it got the loli community split. I've never seen this. Like usually the loli community, the lolly, they're like a hive mind, okay? Like they all agree on issues. But recently they do disagree. And so there is this video game coming up. I haven't really looked into the trailer that much, but there's a video game where you have like this android chick, which I think she's 7, 8 years old, right? And people were looting her. Like people were creating naked mods of it. And so this community was banned on Reddit for breaking Rule 4, right? Now, I understand why Reddit does it. There are laws now, okay? Like, this is not... Look, in America, some people may argue it's a gray area, in Switzerland as well, in Japan, right? But in the European Union, in most nations, there are exceptions. But like in the European Union, in other places, there are laws that crack down on this type of content if you're looting it. But more importantly, even in the nations that permit it, like there are some gray areas and there are some nations which aren't against anime and manga. But even there, they basically say, well, yeah, like if it credibly simulates a child. And when you go to this, you're getting very close to that, you know? Now, as I mentioned before, the loli community has been split. And half of them are saying, like, look, in anime, it doesn't look like a child. This looks too much like a child. Like, if you're looting this, like, what the fuck, bro? You know? Like, there is a line, okay? And this gets, like, really close to indistinguishable levels, right? Now, here's the part that's interesting. The other groups, like the anti-lolis, if you will, they're basically saying, why are you taking the moral high ground? Like, sexualizing children is sexualizing children. So it's like, listen, I kind of get like first of all, I'm not into lolly. I like big fat tits. Okay, so I'm not into this type of content. But um, I kind of understand where they're coming from with their explanation. Remember Dragon Ball? Okay, like Dragon Ball the anime. Dragon Ball the anime has Goku looking, I don't know, like 4 or 5. Like he's really small, right? When Dragon Ball starts, and he actually goes into some nasty fights. I think he even gets killed at some point, right? Same with Naruto. Like Naruto in the beginning, he's also under the age of puberty, right? Like in the original Naruto. And there are fights where he actually gets stabbed with kunais. Like there's kunais going through his hand and shit. Now I have no problem watching that in an anime, right? Because it's stylized, it's different. But like imagine watching a real movie with real actors, and you actually see like a 40-year-old kid playing Goku, and he gets killed on screen. Like I would not be able to watch that. I'm not saying it shouldn't exist. I'm not saying it should be censored. Like if you were to make a live action Dragon Ball and you copy all the episodes. But I personally would not be able to watch that because it's different when you see an actual actor. And even then, I would say, okay, when I watch a movie that has violence in it, right? Like you have a movie where people are shooting each other, you know, like the John Wick movie, right? Like you have John Wick and it's like with action and shit. I don't have a problem watching that. But if you were to show me like war footage from Ukraine, I can't watch that. And the reason is like I know one is real. I know one actually happened. I know another one is fake. Maybe like other people's brain don't work like mine. Like maybe I'm fucked up or something like that. But like the closer you are to reality with me, like it hits differently. It's differently. So like I can understand, yeah, like some people looking at this, it hits differently than if you see Usagi-chan or if you see Bulma in Dragon Ball, right? Like one is extremely stylized and it just doesn't even look like a human. Like it looks completely different. It looks like a race that, okay, is similar to humans, but it's not. The eyes are larger, you know, the facial expression, the drawings, all of that is different. This one, in my opinion, is too close to home. It's too close to home, so I can understand why people say, yeah, this is fucked up. Like, why are you looting this? Okay, like it's pushing the envelope way too much. And so, like, there is the community that's split now. Just say she was in Cuties? Proportions are too human, gets creepy quickly, but it's slight uncanny. Yeah. I'm not advocating for censorship or anything, but I'm saying like if you're eluding that character, like let me put it this way: if you're a weeb and you happen to like My Hero Academia or you like Bulma from Dragon Ball or Sailor Moon or something like that, I would think like, okay, that's weeb culture. That's what weebs do. Okay, it depends like how obsessed you are with it, but like if it's just like something that people like, okay, whatever. But if you make it your identity, or if you loot that type of content, I'm not saying that you should be arrested, but I'm saying that I'm really sus. Like I'm not letting my kids play with you, man. Like I'm not letting my kids play in your yard. Okay, like my kid is going to be told, it's like, no, you don't go to that guy's yard. Like just no. You're not coming into my house. No. Yeah, I think there may be an overlap there, you know, with another group of people. You do you though. Like I'm not for censorship that of that type of content. Okay, like I don't think like that content should get people in prison. I don't think that content that's fictional should waste the resources of authorities from going after crimes that are serious. But at the same time, I as a person, if I know you're into that, no. I'm willing to tolerate the existence of lolly stuff, but if you go out of your way to be transgressive, you should realize that there will be a backlash. Yeah, exactly. You know, like if you make it your entire identity, it's... And look, let me put it this way. You know, like when I grew up, there was this thing called Dad's Porn Magazine. And it was kind of implied that every dad had one, and probably they did, right? Like every single dad had a porn stash somewhere. But like that's one thing, you know, that's one thing. But it's another thing if the dad was like legitimately having porn everywhere and subscribe to like late night cables and go on the telephone and talk with all the ladies of the night, and he would go to strip clubs and make it his identity. Like that's a degenerate, okay? Like that goes beyond what should be acceptable. Like there's no moderation anymore. Like you're going into an extreme. Again, I'm not saying that I should stop people from going into extremes, but I do think that yes, extremes are not healthy. If people want to live an unhealthy life, that's okay. They can live an unhealthy life, but my advice is don't. Okay, like, it's not good for you. It's not good if you're extreme in anything. 3D CG lolly exists. All lolly is a gray area, with 3D CG is a darker gray, but I don't think this is a 50-50 issue within the lolly community. It's mostly tourists complaining. No. Listen. I went on X, okay? I went on X, and I saw the people that were calling them out, and I looked at what they're following. I looked at the artists that they're following. I looked at the pictures that they were sharing. They were into lollies. Like, they were not tourists at all. They were like legitimately into lollies, calling out the community that were looting this character. That they weren't tourists. Now, of course, maybe there were some tourists there, as obvious, but like overwhelmingly, no. Like there were people literally in the fandom sharing that type of even on places like Mastodon. I heard, like, I don't go there, but I have subscribers that do, and they tell me stuff. And yes, like even on the Mastodon server, the anime Nazis were like, no, this is not, no. Well, I'm pretty sure if you go to V, maybe you can find some there, but as I said, it's 50-50. Like, I guess like half of the community is okay with it. It is like a bad look, right? Like, it's a bad look because it gives ammo to people that want to censor anime. Like, they're not against lollies. They literally want to censor anime because, like, they want to promote Western culture. You know, they want to promote Netflix, they want to promote Disney, and so they're looking for ammo. And when you go in public and you share that type of thing, yes, you're literally giving them ammo. Anyway, still, I found it interesting because, again, like, the lolly community is usually united. It's like, okay, don't criticize it, don't talk about it, blah, blah, blah. But in this situation, I saw people be like, no, this is, no. Let's talk about Germany, right? So, Friedrich Merz, which, and by the way, this is the way politics work in Europe, right? Like, when there's elections, they say something, and when they're governing, they do literally the opposite, because there's no consequence for it. Literally no consequence, right? And elections aren't even about policies. Elections is like, vote for me because the opponent is a Nazi. That's it. And you vote for them, and then they do everything they want. So, as you can see here, on February 18th, Mario Naufal posted, Chancellor Friedrich Merz dismissed the idea of Germany building its own nuclear arsenal. He suggested instead that the country could rely on nuclear bombs from France and UK. So, let's see what he's talking about now.
Plötzlich kommen wir unter Druck mit Themen, von denen wir eigentlich gedacht haben, unsere Eltern hätten sie bewältigen müssen, aber nicht mehr die nachfolgenden Generationen. Und unsere Kinder, Enkelkinder haben Chancen, so wohlhabend, so gut zu leben, in Freiheit, in Frieden wie nie zuvor. Und plötzlich sehen wir diese Bilder aus dem Krieg. Plötzlich ist der Krieg zurück in Europa. Plötzlich sehen wir, wie die amerikanische Regierung es ernst meint mit dem, was sie Make America Great Again nennt und was dahinter steht. Plötzlich sehen wir, dass China, ganz anders als in den letzten 3000 Jahren der chinesischen Geschichte.
Why is Europe interested? What the fuck happens in China? Just curious. Right? Like, I understand being interested in what's happening with Ukraine. Well, like, Germany is now interested in what's happening in China. Okay.
Aggressiv im südchinesischen Meer Flottenstützpunkte ausbaut, Taiwan einkreist, offen erklärt, dass sie notfalls bereit wären, mit militärischer Gewalt die sogenannte Wiedervereinigung.
And by the way, he's a politician. Like, he knows Chinese posturing. He knows that they've been doing this for 20 years now. And he's basically saying that America is like, make America great again, with everything that's behind it. Woo! I would like him to compare MAGA with the Clinton administration and tell me, like, what exactly is he upset with MAGA, and we can see how the Clintons handled it. The reality is like the war in Ukraine is the best shit that happened for the European Union politically. They can now justify anything, like literally anything. They can go haywire and basically say, yeah, it's because of the war in Ukraine. Like we gotta restrict nation sovereignty. You know, like the unanimity vote. We can scratch that. Don't care. War in Ukraine. I think like the worst thing that would happen for the European Union is if peace comes. You know, like if Putin just goes like, yeah, okay, well, you guys won. We're withdrawing. Like the European Union would be in a meltdown. It's like, no, please, Putin, just listen, come back, just keep fighting, Putin, like, just please, Putin, please. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Germany won't have grandchildren at this rate. Well, there is a really interesting video with a member from Nigel Farage's party, which literally says he doesn't care about the current political situation because the ramification will come like 30 years, and he's not going to be alive in 30 years, so he doesn't care. And it's like, well, I mean, I guess that makes sense, right? The Japanese idea is to actually appeal to a wide market. It's supposed to be cute and for hugs. If you want to roleplay a dad or you want to roleplay a dad. Well, like, here's another thing. Like, a lot of people are really disturbed over what's happening now. But, like, I remember growing up, like, there was the concept of jailbait. Like, an actress, usually, which would star in movies. And she was hot, right? Like, she had big tits, she had the plump ass, but she was, like, 17. And it was called jailbait because, like, even though men liked her, like, everyone knew that you shouldn't date her, right? Like, that. Like, it's one thing when people, and by the way, like, they say, well, it's an attraction to teenagers. It's like, no, because, like, those people wouldn't go out of their way to seek teenagers out. But if there's, like, a teenager on a television show, right, like in Baywatch or Saved by the Bell or something, and it's, like, literally in their bedrooms through the television, and the teenager is, like, unironically hot, yeah, like, people would call it jailbait. Like, there was literally a word in the English language to describe the phenomenon. And now people are pretending that, no, actually, if you happen, like, if your dad happened to like something like that, he's a pedophile. It's like, no, I refuse the framing. Like, I'm sorry, no. Like, yes, if he was attracted to, like, a prepubescent actress, I would agree. Yeah, like, that's fucked up. But, like, if the actress looks as if she's, like, 21, and she's starring in a TV show or something like that, and a person says, yeah, she's hot, it's like, okay, well, maybe she generally is hot. But that doesn't mean that the person would go out and they would date her, right? And have a relationship like that. The other thing is, so like, what, oh yeah, age play, right? Like, schoolgirl uniforms. I understand, like, schoolgirl uniforms on adults. Like, I'm not talking about schoolgirl uniforms on children. No, but like the Japanese schoolgirl uniform, you know, like the Sailor Moon outfit. Apparently, if you like a 25-year-old woman dressed like that, it's pedophilia. And I'm like, okay, first of all, why are there schoolgirl uniforms for adults? Like, it means there's an entire industry, right, where women dress like that. Why do they dress like that? Well, because the uniform reveals her legs. And it squeezes her tits. Like I don't know how else to describe it. But age play as well, like, it was a thing that existed as a name, and it was quite common when I grew up, like, age play, right? Like, having a grown-ass woman go, like, spank me daddy. Ooh, daddy, spank me harder. Is that pedophilia? No, I don't think so. What I think is happening is that people are watering down the definition so much in order to have a reason to feel like belonging to a community and that they're fixing the world. And we already saw that with racism. Like, they watered the definition of racism. Did racism go away after we had anti-racism? I don't think so. They already did that with misogyny and sexism. And now you have, like, racism, misogyny, and sexism, words that no one gives a shit about, right? Transphobia, another thing. It's like, they watered down the age of transphobia to the point, the word of transphobia, they watered it down to the point where even misgendering someone made you transphobic. The anti-vaxxer movement during COVID, right? Like, if you had, like, 2 vaccines taken, but you didn't want to get the third and you disagree with the government lockdowns, you're an anti-vaxxer. And now we notice a massive decline in vaccine purchases. It's like, look, every single time people started a campaign against something that was worthwhile campaigning against, but then they started watering down the definitions and they started with the social ostracization and all of that. At the end of the movement, it was worse than when the movement began. And I can't find many exceptions. Like, I'm pretty sure there may be some exceptions. And so, like, the watering down of the definition of pedophilia that I'm seeing on the internet right now is a little bit concerning. Not a lot, but a little bit. Yeah, perhaps it is a 5D chess move, yeah. That is a stage play? Yes, it is. I have seen a NGO, right? Like, I don't care what your definition of age play is. I'm looking at what some of the moral enforcements consider. And there is this NGO called the National Center of Sexual Exploitation, or something like that, the COSE. And they decided to go after Target because Target was selling these yellow ribbons that said spank me daddy or something like that. And they basically consider that's incest and that's age play. And look, if they say that, well, I guess this is the new definition, and I go by the definition of the censors because this is what they're regulating against. I'm not playing the Moat and Bailey tactic shit. If you come out of your moat and you go into the Bailey, then I'm attacking the Bailey. Don't care you're going back. The Bailey is now the fighting ground. I will never understand how anyone thought that map shit was okay. I don't think map shit was ever okay, though. No, I think like maps were like legitimately persecuted out of every single community. Like you get the ones that were into anime, the weebs, even with their lolis, even they were more accepted than the maps. I can't think like many counter examples because like the weebs, it's like okay, it's part of their culture. You know, like you watch anime for something, it happens that it has a loli, and it's like okay, you know, whatever, you know. There's that like that particular specific culture, but the maps like no, they even like people from the anime community were against them. I don't remember a single place where maps were welcome unless like it's maps welcoming other maps, like that I've seen happen. Yes, but like a place where people were part of a hobby and maps come in and everyone is like let's sing Kumbaya and join hand. No. The only exception, there is one exception in Germany. In Germany, the Green Party, right? Like the political Green Party wanted to legalize pedophilia. But the way that they even managed to get it is because like the Green Party was environmentalism and they had this bracket. And so like many people voted for them not knowing what they want to do. But other than that, no. Yeah, they basically like maps. What they do is like they try to sneak it in, but like even the LGBT, they kick them out. And the LGBT, you know, like you have activists that are for castrating children and shit, and even those were like, no, like you guys, no, you're not with us, no. There's not going to be a P in LGBT, and even though they tried kicking them out, it still didn't work for them. No, it's just not true. Like I don't know of any community that embraced them. Yeah, like it is predatory. Like, cause like the thing with the anime people is they say they like the cartoons. And look, if there are anime people that like the cartoons but find children to be ugh, okay, that's fine. You know, like I can see a person like that. They like the drawings but they don't like the kids. That type of person can exist. Like I can hypothetically view such a person. But if you're telling me that you actually like the kids, and you go around and it's like, no, like listen, no, it's not the drawing. Like I like it. No, that's pedophile. I'm sorry. No. This is why the movie Cooties was so outrageous, right? It's like, why the Greens this crazy? No, you can look it up if you don't believe me. They apologized recently. Like there is literally an official apology from the Green Party in Germany for promoting pedophilia back in the day. Like this is not undercover stuff. This is not secret. Like this is well known, documented even. You have to have over $1 billion to be a map. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Or you have to be a woman. I'll explain why that is. Being a pedophile is actually one of the worst crimes that can be committed. I think like maybe torture is worst, right? Like if you're looking, or genocide, right? Like on the list of crimes. Like yeah, if you go around and you skin someone alive, you know, like some shit like that, I would say like society would view it worse. But no, like if you're arrested for something like that, even in the prison, right? And this is worldwide. This is not just like in America or no, like worldwide in prison. If you're arrested for crimes against women, children, or the elderly, you're done. Like it is what it is. And so like society inherently has nothing but disdain and disgust for these people. And so the only way that these people can still organize is if they're really rich and they're above the law. Like they literally can threaten people that try to arrest them, right? So like if you can buy the police chief or if you can intimidate the police officer, that's the only way you can get around it. And this is why, you know, you have the Epstein Island where you have the elites. Because like the elites are above normal laws because they have power, like tangential power. The other people are women, right? Like South Park made an entire segment about it where it's like the kindergarten teacher and everyone is nice, right? Because, well, apparently in the mind of a lot of people, if they pictured themselves being 14, they remembered that at 14, myself included, I gotta say, I had the hots for Miss Keen, right? And so, like, the idea that I would have banged Miss Keen is not something that I would have viewed as being a victim. However, as an adult, you know, that now I'm not 14 and I do have knowledge to understand things, I do understand that if I would have banged Miss Keen at 14 and she would have gotten pregnant, that would have been very problematic. Something that at the time I didn't even consider, right? But now that I'm more intellectual, I can understand. And so I understand why it's a crime. And I understand why it should be a crime. The island shows that voting is pointless? No, the island shows that people don't care. It's not that voting is pointless. Like, we can get outraged as much as we want on the internet. The reality is, it's like you need to come to terms with this, okay? People don't care. Some people do care. No, like, some people do care. But, like, most people don't care. Like, you can be outraged, you can cry about it, but, like, most people do not care. Now, it's possible that they don't care because they don't believe it, right? Like, for instance, the left believes that Elon Musk is a pedophile. Like, you go on X. The left genuinely, unironically believes this. Or at least they say they do. Right-wingers believe that, no, it's Hillary Clinton. But, like, most people do not believe that their own politician is the guy. And so they keep voting. It's not that voting doesn't work. It's that people do not believe it. And it goes back to my original analysis from the post that I made, right? People do not care about evidence. They do not care about truth. They care about belonging, right? So, like, right-wingers, they believe that Joe Biden is a chomo. Left-wingers believe that Donald Trump is a chomo. Neither side believes that their own guy is a problem. And so you can't say voting doesn't work because of the island. No, like, maybe if there was actual video footage of a politician doing it, then okay. No, like, if there was like actual video evidence, right? People may say that, okay, that's fucked up. But unless there's like video evidence, people will say, no, it's not my guy. No, the accuser is lying. No, it's obviously conjectural. It's like that didn't happen. So it's not that people believe that it happened and they no, like, they literally just gaslight themselves into not believing. Of course, YouTube censored your comment. Well, maybe you should try giving a super chat. I didn't get many super chats today. I'm desperate, right? If you want me to read your stuff, all I'm saying, I'm running a business here, right? So I can talk about what you want, but like, they will call it AI. Not really, because you can use AI in order to tell if a picture is made by AI. I bet you didn't know that, huh? Did you know about that? You can use AI in order to tell if a picture is used by AI. Even if the video exists, people will just say it's AI. No, no, no. Look. Like, AI hasn't gone to the level where you can unironically fake a picture to the point where no one can tell the difference. No, like the AI still makes artifacts. If you so like first of all, AI usually makes like 6 seconds or 15 seconds videos, right? So you kind of can tell by that. It has artifacts that people can point out to, and most AI will simply refuse to generate that type of content. Like that's another thing, right? So like you would need to have access to specific corporations that run AI. Like basically, you need to have someone at Google or at OpenAI that's willing to do this for you. You know, like to allow you to access a model that's without any guardrails, and they would know that they're using it for a political reason, and so like they're jeopardizing their entire companies and reputation. It's not impossible, but it's extremely unlikely. The German news used Sora video with the watermark as evidence. Well, yeah, and you know, right? Like you basically pointed out because they have used the Sora video with the watermark. I mean, they can try, but like, look, the internet knows. The fact that you know, it's evidence of that. So, some Instagram reel of some dude laughing at people donating to some AI generated chick with 7 fingers playing guitar. Yeah, but like, look, it's one thing when you have a video that can trick or scam people. It's another thing when you would release a video of Joe Biden doing something with underage people, right? Like every single mainstream media outlet, every single investigation agency, the entire internet would analyze that video frame by frame. Like, this wouldn't be like on Instagram, you see a girl with 7 fingers playing a guitar, and you're like, oh, wow, that's interesting. No, like, if you put something that political, it would have to, like, go through official organizations that have to look into it, because it's Joe Biden, right? So, no, I don't think, like, we're at the stage where people can use AI to that level. Possession of the video evidence would be an issue. I'm actually like, it depends on how the law in your nation is functioning, right? Because in some nation, it's like, why are you possessing? So the intent, if the intent is self-gratification, then it's a crime. But if the intent is to expose it, like to actually give it to the authorities or to post it in a place where people can see it, right? So like if you actually give it to a news organization and the news organization edits it, like pixelates the thing, right? Like the idea is to show that a politician is doing it, is not to expose the public to that type of image. Yeah, usually it is a gray area. Like I wouldn't play with something like that, you know. But if you're a whistleblower that does have like the Epstein files, and you give the like you're not holding them for yourself, you're giving them to a mainstream media outlet. I think in that situation, even a judge or a jury will find you innocent by nullification. Be like, okay, well, he was trying to expose it, right? Like most people will understand. Anyway, right, chat. So tomorrow we're going to do the Under the Bridge podcast. It's going to be grand. We're going to have fun. Amalgamite is going to be here. I'm also planning to do the Aiden Paladin thing where I'm going to go and we're going to stream together with Aiden Paladin and Spoons. And I think like that's going to be Wednesday, right? So Wednesday is going to be me with Aiden Paladin. Saturday is going to be Under the Bridge. And hopefully I'll find out more interesting activities to perform. In the meantime, you guys have a good night. Hopefully you got entertained, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.